Good morning, everyone. We are on day 12 of release, and I'm kind of jumping around from some of the posts because some of them, they just seem to fit in this order really well. So, Joanne, you came up with a really good one about making yourself bigger, this awareness that you had about to be seen, to be heard, to be acknowledged. And it's funny, so psychosomatically, weight is protection. If you think about it, we're insulating ourselves. We're literally putting layers between us and others as protection. And then the other part of that is absolutely like I'm making myself bigger so that people will actually see, acknowledge, and hear me. What a great, fabulous insight. So think about it this way. It's just coming to me. Making yourself bigger in your energy. I did this in one of my psychosomatics training where they talk about just standing up and expanding your energy out, like putting your arms out. And if you believe that we're energy, I mean, they put, a glass surface, wood, a notebook under a high-powered microscope. And in fact, it's all living, electrons, neurons, all that, just bouncing off of each other. So nothing's actually solid is really what they're saying. So it is energy. And so if you think about what if we can start considering the idea, I'm just going to make myself bigger in my energy. There's a great line too from one of the many teachers I've had. Oh, hey, Penny. So happy to see you here. Biggest energy wins. And if you think about biggest energy, hey, mama, mi hermana. So if you think about, have you ever been in a room and somebody walks in the room and it's just like you can't help but notice them, and their energy goes into a room and it's big and it's expansive. So let's do, hey, Evelina, how are ya? Did I say that right? It's a beautiful name, but I never trust myself. So, beautiful name. So, Penny, Evelina, happy you're here live. So let's just think about this. Whether you have excess weight or not, think about, how we cower our energy. Yes, and thank you. Okay, great. I said it. Okay, you're welcome. I want to say people's names properly if I can. So if you think about when you're hurt or you're feeling attacked or something, your body contracts. I mean, I know this for me, you contract and you start, this is something like my husband will notice too when we get into, a discussion, a heated discussion, let's call it, and I start doing this. It's the protection thing. So if you think about, we start to contract, but then think about if you're standing in your energy, they always talk about, and it really does work, and I don't have a lot of room here. I'm going to stand up. If you stand up and do the, Wonder Woman, is that right? Wonder Woman pose. It's really powerful. It is. Some of this stuff, when I first heard of it, I'm like, whatever. But there really is something to it. Even if you're just sitting here and you put your hands on your hips like this, if you think about it, you're putting your chest out this way, your heart is more exposed. But when I do this, really, I truly feel more powerful. That's why I think, personally, I always move to athletics because I feel very powerful when I'm in that world. I feel strong. I feel, even at 56, I feel, and I'm certainly not at my, best athletic ability. I mean, but I could get more that way, but that's still, I hop on a bike and I feel that way, or I go out and hike and I immediately feel a different energy in me. So sometimes when I'm stressed, that's what I'll do, is it really helps dissipate stress. So it's good to think about places in your life where you feel more powerful, you feel more confident, and visit that either in your mind or like visit the pose, go out if you feel like I go out and, I hop on a bike and I feel it. Wherever you feel more empowered, those are places just you can always revisit in your mind to help you expand your energy without having to actually expand your physical body by putting weight on. So just think about, and people, anyone on here, say if you are carrying excess weight, try those poses. Like stand in that and think like, God, does it feel different to you? This is what's interesting to me too, because when I was heavier than I am now, I noticed, even though I was sort of expanding my physical body, my energy was sort of kind of going in, because out of a shame and embarrassment, like, oh God, they're going to notice, that, I think about, oh my God, I think so much back to that time and like all that stuff. It's like, it's amazing. So even though, say, physically my body was expanding, energetically I was doing this. So if you have some excess weight and this feels uncomfortable, just do it privately and just stand where you're like, and see how it feels, and just imagine, do it a few times until it starts to feel more comfortable. So anyway, just a couple tips to try those things. So let's start tapping. Karate chop. Even though it's not safe, this world I live in is not safe. That's what I learned a long time ago. From my caregivers, no less. The very people who should have uplifted and protected me did the opposite. Authority figures made me contract. I choose to accept that I feel this way. Even though my voice wasn't heard, I wasn't acknowledged, I wasn't seen. So I had to learn some way to be seen, to be heard, to be acknowledged. So I made myself bigger. I accept myself and my feelings now. Even though I learned to make myself bigger physically, as a way to be seen, as a way to be heard, as a way to be acknowledged. And of course I did. It's the only way I knew how. And then I learned to judge myself for it. So what if this can be a light bulb moment where I can feel less judgmental of my body? Because if I really, really think about it, my body is amazing what it takes on for me. And maybe I can start loving it more now. Even just that much. I was never heard, never seen, never truly acknowledged. So I had to do something. My spirit was crushed. And my spirit was dying to come out. I was dying to be me. To be heard. To be valued. Just for being me. But the opposite happened. Children's needs are best met by parents whose needs are met. My parents weren't meeting their own needs. those authority figures that came down on me clearly weren't meeting their own needs. So they did to me what was done to them. And I'd like for this to stop with me. So what if it's possible that what I'm really longing for, starving for, dying for, is to hear and acknowledge myself, to really see me, exactly as I am. Flaws, foibles, beauty, goodness, all of it. Because all of it is what makes me me. What if that's possible? That I could start to embrace, learn to embrace me, hear myself, acknowledge myself, really see myself. What if that's possible? What if I really can learn to do this? Because when I start to give it to myself, I don't need it from anyone else. And the irony is, I usually get it then. What if there is another way to expand my energy? To make this big, huge, unlimited energy inside of me far more expansive, without having to use my body to do it now. And I don't want to judge myself at all, even though I do all the time, for how I've had to do it up until now, because that little kid in me has done it the only way they've known how to. And what if by honoring this little child in me, who is so incredibly brilliant to figure out how to make themselves bigger, to be seen, to be heard, to be acknowledged, by honoring the brilliance of this part of me, I start to accept me. And I start to realize the brilliance in me. And knowing I can find another way. Learning to love all parts of me, especially the wounded parts. Because the strength and perseverance that it took that younger version of me to survive is pretty incredible. To be so small in stature and yet so powerful, even though I've never seen myself that way. I'm open to seeing the power in me now. That amazing child that I was, that survived so much, being so small, with no guidance and direction. And my spirit is longing to soar now. And I'm so open to helping myself learn to do just that in a whole new way. And take a breath. So, yeah, go back and tap on this as many times as you need to if you found it helpful, and think about doing those sort of just like expand your energies. Just, you can sit there and, I mean, even this, just stretching, oh my God, it feels so good. It's like expanding out. And try those, you know, the Wonder Woman pose that everybody talks about, but it's super powerful. And literally go to the places either in your mind or physically where you're like, no, I'm feeling my power here. Like, I know I'm in my power here. I stand up a little more upright. I'm a little more, you know, I feel it. Use those places that you have now that you feel it. Even if it's just that much where you're like, you know, I know my shit here. I know my stuff. And I feel good here. Keep going, floating back to that. Oh, divinely inspired. Thanks. You bet, Penny. Yeah, I think so. So just go again and again while you're learning this new way to expand your energy. Oh, nice. Just what I needed. I'm so happy to hear that, Penny. I know there's somebody else here. So Avelina, you're here, Penny, and then somebody else. Hello, whoever you are. So have a great rest of your day. And then we'll see you back here tomorrow for day 13. Moving along. That's it. Bye for now, ladies. Much love to you both and all three of you, whoever else you are that's on here.